Workers at Crown Holdings aluminum can plant in Toronto have been on strike for nearly 20 months. Later this morning, they, as well as other unions and labour groups on this May Day, will rally outside the Ministry of Labour to ask the government to end this dispute. In March, the ministry appointed a labour lawyer to investigate and suggest new steps as part of an industrial inquiry commission. In the meantime, workers are still out on the line, picketing and lobbying the government, as well as companies that do business with Crown Holdings. Steve McQugh is one of the striking workers. He'll be in Aurora this morning speaking with the government minister, but he's with me in studio now. Good morning.
Good morning.
What do you do at Crown Holdings?
Right now I'm...
right now you're on strike.
Right now I still think of us as the present. No, I'm a fork truck driver there right now. I used to be in another job called chemical process maintainer that took care of cleaning all the cans with acids and that type of thing. But I unfortunately got sick from using the chemicals, so I stepped down and just found something else to do.
Why have you been on strike for 20 months?
Well, we've been on strike this long mainly because the company does not want to actually negotiate a fair deal with us. And as the strike has been going on, it's just been getting worse and worse. So it seems like they really don't even want to have us come back to work at all.
What are the terms that you're being presented with?
Well, when it all first started, back when we went on strike September 6th, 2013, we really didn't want that much. We were pretty much happy with what we had, but we hadn't had a raise or anything in our pensions for over 9 years. Right. And so when we came to that point, the company only wanted to give us not a 1% raise the first year and still nothing on our pensions, and they just wanted to tear apart our contract. And one of the things we were fighting was this big two-tier wage system that they wanted to put in, that all new workers would get about 42% less than us and never be able to catch up. So as the company grew and made a lot of money, especially our plant, you think that they'd want to reward us for being hard workers. And our plant was actually named their #1 plant in all of North America in 2012.
So in March, the Ministry of Labour directed a vote for employees based on the last offer that the employer had put forth. That offer was rejected. Why?
Yeah, that was back in last year, 2014. It actually looked like it was going to be a half-decent contract, but at the very end of it, the company wasn't saying that all of us could come back to work. They weren't actually committing to that. And in Ontario, and I'm not sure exactly how the law is worded, but if 85% of you aren't called back, those people that are at the end of that, say the last 16%, are in limbo. And if they're not called back, they can't be laid off. And if you're not laid off, how can you apply for unemployment insurance? So it's one of those things. And then they also wanted to keep some of the scab labor or replacement workers in the plant. Well, these people were off. So, when we all go out, we all want to go back in. And that was one of the major stumbling blocks. We've
spoken with some of your colleagues who've been out on the line with you, and they've talked about what it's been like to be out for 20 months. We've had, as I mentioned, a couple of brutal winters.
Yes.
And 20 months, time flies by, but 20 months is a long time. What's it been like for you?
It's been very difficult, but I'm one of the luckier ones that my kids have gotten older. They've all moved out now, so I don't have those payments or to get people through university. Or a lot of other people, their kids have actually had to put a hold on university. Their kids have actually gone out and tried to get jobs to help pay for things around the house. So it's been hard on some of those. And other people that are single, trying to pay their mortgages have had to make all kinds of deals with the bank to try to keep going. So nobody's actually lost their home yet, but they're getting in pretty bad financial situation.
I mean, one of the things that happens is, and whether this is good or bad is immaterial, but we define ourselves so much by the work that we do. Mm-hmm. And when you're not able to do that work, part of who you think you are feels like it's taken away from you.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And a lot of us, we're starting to get part-time jobs now. A lot of people are. So they are going back into work. Not exactly what we used to do, but getting out there to do something to still feel useful and worthwhile.
Why have you stayed on the line? I mean, you could have left and gone and done something else.
I could have, but I'm actually at 29 years in the company right now, and I really want to stay to be able to get my pension, my 30-year pension out of the company. So, and like a lot of us, there are probably about 80 people in that boat right now. And so you're kind of stuck in limbo whether to stay or whether to go.
What are you going to be asking from? You're meeting with a minister later today, but what are you looking for from the Ministry of Labour itself?
The Ministry of Labour, they've stepped in and actually tried to use their influence to try to bring about an end to this strike. They're trying to actually get our company to actually negotiate, because they haven't been actually doing that for a long time, and try to bring about a resolve. So pretty much we're just looking to get that contract and get back to work.
Do you have any sense as to whether the government's going to move on this?
Our company hasn't moved at all this time, and like I said earlier, they've been getting worse as time is going on.
But is there anything that the government can do to say, listen, this has gone on long enough, thank you very much,
Well, as a last course, our union will be asking for binding arbitration, and but the two parties have to agree to it, the company and the workers. So if they can get them to do that, we'll just have to accept what the Morton Michnick, who's been put in for all this, whatever he can figure out. So
I mean, the last part of this is that, as you mentioned, you're close to retirement. You've been there for 29 years.
29 years, yeah.
This could continue for a long time.
I know it can.
What are you going to do?
Well, I'll just have to get some sort of other job, I guess, until. But you don't know. Like you have to keep trying to always think that you're going to go back. You always have to be hopeful that this thing will come to an end, and I'll just go from there.
Keep us posted.
I will.
It's good to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve McQugh is an employee at Crown Holdings. Workers have been on strike there for nearly 20 months. Later this morning, labour groups will be asking Ontario's Ministry of Labour to end that strike. We have repeatedly asked for an interview with Crown Holdings. Never responded to us. We'll keep asking as this strike continues and keep you posted.